Stop pretending you don't know why people keep pulling back from you. You think the problem is that men aren't allowed to feel. You think showing weakness automatically costs you respect. You've said it to yourself so many times it sounds like truth. If they see the dent, they'll throw me out. But here's the part your pride keeps dodging. What killed their respect wasn't that you felt something. It's that you either hid forever or you confessed and did nothing. You thought hiding kept you safe. You thought confessing bought you points. Both moves drained your credibility, and now you've learned the wrong lesson. You think exposure is poison. It isn't. Cowardice is. You've had the pattern run across your life. The moments you hid, you vanished. You weren't a man to count on. You were a shadow. Everyone felt it. You took no hits, you took no stands, you took no risk, so you took no place in the room, and the moment you opened up, let it spill, asked for space, said you were overwhelmed, promised you'd do better next time, then didn't move? People nodded, they smiled, they said they understood, and they quietly marked you down. Not because your feelings were wrong, because your words cost them something while costing you nothing. Every time that happened, your brain filed it under one rule: visibility kills respect. And it hardened you. It made you guarded. It made you suspicious of your own heart. Underneath that belief is a deeper mechanism you haven't wanted to name. People weren't punishing you for being human. They were reacting to the bill you slid across the table when you spoke. Your disclosure had a hidden transfer cost. You poured out the mess and asked them to mop it up while you kept your hands clean. You shifted weight onto their schedule, their patience, their trust, their time, while you stayed safe on the edge. Other people aren't allergic to your fear. They're allergic to becoming your relief valve. They feel when your admission is a shield you hide behind, so they have to walk softer, carry more, expect less. That's the real problem. Your vulnerability hasn't been a commitment. It's been an alibi. I'm struggling becomes don't expect much. I'm anxious becomes cover me. I'm trying becomes grade me on effort. You used your inner weather as an umbrella to avoid the rain of consequences. You wanted understanding without the bill. You wanted a free pass dressed as authenticity. You wanted to be respected for saying the truth, not for paying the price that truth demanded from you. And people sense it faster than you think. Fear becomes intelligent when it learns to speak your language. It knows the right words. It knows how to sound brave while staying safe. When your vulnerability is an alibi, trust thins. Doors begin to close with a polite click. Invitations dry up. Your name slides lower on the list when real weight needs to be carried. Intimacy hardens. Not because people hate you, because your words lower the bar instead of raising it. Your honesty becomes a ceiling that caps their expectations. Nobody wants to lean on a man who warns the world to handle him like glass, then refuses to become steel. So they recalibrate, they plan around you, they create distance, they protect themselves from the cost of your comfort. And then you swing. Armor up hard. No feelings, no weakness, just grind. You give off the cold signal, nothing touches me. You hold the line with your jaw instead of with your actions. It looks strong for a minute, but it isn't grounded in anything real. It's just you hiding at a higher volume. People feel it, they can't reach you, they can't read you, they can't trust a man who won't let reality mark him. So you crack, you overshare, you drown them in backstory, flood them with past hurt, dump every thought on the table. Now you're bleeding in their hands. You think this proves you're brave. It doesn't. It proves you're uncontained. Armor or overshare, both buttons brand you as a liability. One makes you a stranger, the other makes you a storm. Neither makes you a man to lean on. The spiral steals years. You call it growth. It's not growth, it's noise. One day you're iron, one day you're water. People can't rely on that. Inside, you feel the shame, you feel the stalled engine, you feel the gap between what you say and how you live. You think the answer is to get sharper words, deeper therapy talk, better explanations. But explanations don't move weight. Explanations don't hit deadlines. Explanations don't put your name on the line. You can dress it in beautiful language and still do nothing. Comfort is expensive. It charges the bill to your future. The snap comes when you finally see that respect has never tracked what you reveal before you act. Respect tracks what you stake after you speak, not the confession, the collateral, not the story, the skin in the game. People don't rally to you because you are open. They rally because your openness ties a rope around your waist and pulls you into consequence. Your honesty earns power when it's the down payment on a promise, not a receipt for pity. That's the rule you've been missing. You don't become confident by thinking. You become confident by surviving reality. So here's the shift that flips the whole board. Vulnerability becomes power only when it's the price you pay to accept responsibility. It's not a flare gun, it's a contract. It's you saying, here is my flaw, here is the target, here is the cost I'm willing to shoulder in public to fix it. That is the only version that builds respect. Anything else is a plea for rescue. People are tired of being drafted into your rescue mission. They want to see you carry your own bag through the door. Think about where you've used vulnerability as cover. You told your partner you're working on communication, then kept your phone habits and your timing the same. You told your team you're prone to procrastination, then you missed the next 2 deadlines and said, I warned you. You told your coach you struggle with consistency, then you showed up when you felt inspired and vanished when it got boring. Those sentences weren't admissions. They were preemptive excuses. They watered down the standard before you stepped on the field. No one can count on a man who lowers the rim and then celebrates the dunk. The alternative is brutal and clean. You state the flaw straight, you pick a target that matters, and you tie yourself to a visible consequence that drags your body into motion. Deadline, dollars, reputation. You say, I'm late too often. For the next 30 days, I will arrive 10 minutes early. If I don't, I transfer $200 to the team fund every time. You say, I've let my fitness slide. In 12 weeks, I will hit X miles in under Y minutes, and I'll post the time. If I miss it, I pay for 5 of you to run a race on me. You say, I talk big about starting the business. By Friday, 5 p.m., the landing page is live and I'm down $500 on ad spend. If it's not live, I send a public apology to the group and step back from giving advice for 60 days. That's vulnerability with teeth. It's not asking anyone to treat you softer. It's asking the world to hold you harder. It's not see me, it's measure me. Watch how people respond to that energy. They listen, they lean in. Not because you're a victim or a hero, but because you're accountable. Your admission carries weight and you carry it yourself. Trust rebuilds. Opportunities find you because people want to bet on a man who puts his name on the line and leaves himself no back door. You become the rare one whose honesty raises expectations. Your words stop being fog. They become contracts. The room gets quiet when you speak, not because you're dramatic, but because you mean it. This isn't about becoming a robot. It's about becoming a man whose inner world doesn't ask for tribute from everyone around him. You can feel everything, you can say everything, but when you open your mouth, there better be a plan attached. There better be a stake in the ground. Vulnerability without a stake invites caretaking. Vulnerability with a stake invites respect. That's the split. Learn it or keep bleeding out credibility one soft apology at a time. Will this cost you? Yes. That's the point. You've been dodging cost your whole life. Every dodge has its own price. You paid with time, with chances, with the quiet disgust you feel when you look in the mirror and know your words weigh less than a feather. Responsibility asks for blood up front, so it doesn't drain you slow for decades. The life you want is hidden behind the actions you avoid. And the actions you avoid are always the ones that require a bet. Put money on it. Put hours on it. Put your name on it. Put your weekend on it. No more emotional IOUs with zero interest. Pay in full. Now. This is how you stop the swing between armor and overshare. Armor says, I'll risk nothing. Overshare says, risk me gently. Commitment says, here's what I'm risking and here's the timeline. Armor is distance. Overshare is gravity collapsed. Commitment is tension held. It stretches you. It makes you soar. It forges shape. That's what you need. That's what other men respect. That's what women can trust. That's what your kids will copy when it matters, and you're not there to tell them what to do. You've been trained to think a perfect plan must come first. That's another stall tactic. Plans are easy in a chair. They reshape the air and let you feel smart. But power lives where your skin meets the deadline. Power shows up when there's a number on the calendar and you're either on time or you're not. When there's a dollar amount committed and it leaves your account if you come up short. When someone you respect has permission to call you out because you asked them to and you promised a consequence. That's when your brain stops telling stories and starts learning truth. Pressure makes your nervous system honest. You either lift the weight or you don't. You find out who you are by what you do when it costs you. But what if I fail? Then you fail under conditions that make you sharper instead of softer. You don't hide. You don't perform your sadness for mercy. You name the miss. You pay the price. You reset the target. And you go again without begging for a lighter bar. The man who keeps paying the price to try again becomes dangerous. Everyone else gets tired. He gets better. That's why vulnerability tied to responsibility builds power. It forces reps. It turns your feelings into fuel because the consequence doesn't care how you feel. It cares what you do. And you adapt. Stop asking for understanding and start asking for pressure. Pressure gives you data. Pressure gives you standards. Pressure gives you wins that age well. Nobody respects the man who always has a reason. They respect the man who always has a result. Results don't mean perfection. They mean weight carried, ground taken, truth measured. If you want a rule that will change your life, here it is. Say less, stake more. Cut 80% of your speeches. Replace them with dates, numbers, and names that can hold you. Fear will try to get clever here. It will whisper that you're being too harsh, that you need to protect your energy, that accountability is toxic, that public goals are performative. Fear becomes intelligent when it learns to speak your language. It will dress up as wisdom. It will warn you about burnout while you rust. Don't listen. This isn't about punishing yourself. This is about orienting yourself toward reality. Reality is not your enemy. It's the arena that makes you real. Look at the men you admire, the ones you actually trust with something that matters. They're not fearless, they're not flawless, they're not even the most talented. They are the ones who move first, stake something, and hold themselves to it louder than anyone else does. They remind you of a basic truth you keep trying to skip. Confidence is not a mood, it's a memory. It's your nervous system remembering, I said I'd do it, I did it, I survived. You don't become confident by thinking, you become confident by surviving reality. So start where it cuts. What's the exact behavior that has been costing you respect? Name it in one sentence. Don't give me the novel. Are you late? Are you soft with your boundaries? Are you a talker who never ships? Are you a weekend warrior who disappears Monday to Thursday? Pick one, not five, one. Then what matters enough that fixing this moves your life? Not an easy target, a target with weight, something measurable, something that can be seen. Tie a consequence to it that you will feel. Money you don't want to lose, time you don't want to give up, reputation you don't want to crack. Loop in one person who will not comfort you when you fold. Grant them the right to enforce the cost. Speak it out loud once, then stop talking and move. You might think this is extreme. It is. But your average is exactly why you're stuck. Average inputs produce average outcomes and a heavy conscience. If you want to become a man people can lean on, you have to be precise and public with your commitments. Private intentions are where integrity goes to die. Speak small, stake hard, deliver, repeat. No fanfare, no dramatic confessions every week, just a trail of fulfilled promises and paid penalties. In 6 months, your own reflection won't question you as much. In 12 months, the people around you will treat your words like currency again. In 2 years, you won't recognize your posture. Let's be clear about something else. This isn't about being cruel to yourself or refusing help when you truly need it. It's about refusing to turn your struggle into a tax on everyone else's effort. It's about separating honesty from helplessness. If you need a hand, say it and add the risk you're taking alongside it. I need advice on this business decision. I'm putting 5 hours into research tonight and booking 2 sales calls tomorrow. If I don't, I'll send you proof and I'm buying dinner for the team. That's clean. That's adult. That's a man asking for help while carrying his share. The moment you operate like this, your relationships change shape. Your partner starts to relax because your words become reliable maps. Your friends talk about you differently when you're not in the room. The younger men around you start copying you because they can feel the gravity of your example. Opportunities don't chase noise, they chase proof. Become proof. You've run out of time to be soft where you should be sharp. The window does not stay open forever. You can spend 10 more years auditioning for sympathy, hiding behind ratioed goals, curating your feelings, and staying safe while demanding credit. You will become small. Or you can cut the act tonight. Draw a hard circle around what matters and who you want to be, and then pick one move that puts you at risk for it. Make the call, send the transfer, book the meeting, write the email, publish the page, register for the race. Stop warming up and step under the bar. Let your next admission be different, not a signal flare. A starting gun. Here's where I'm weak. Here's the deadline I'm committing to. Here's what it will cost me if I miss. Say it to the person who will hold you to it. If your hands don't shake a little, the stake is too small. If your voice doesn't tighten, you're still shopping for comfort. Don't. Comfort is expensive. And when it gets hard, and it will, remember the rule. Respect is not given for a tear or a speech. Respect is given for the weight you lift after you say you will. When your mind begs to explain, don't. When you want to renegotiate, don't. When you fail, pay. When you win, deliver, and shut up. The scoreboard doesn't need your story. It needs your points. You've been hiding behind language, and language has been shielding you from life. Step forward without the shield. Become the man whose honesty raises the bar, not lowers it. The man whose confession is not a call for rescue, but a sign you're already moving. The man people lean on because he leans into the hit and keeps his feet. Enough postponing your own respect. Enough negotiating with your own weakness. Enough theatrics. If you want to be treated like a man, act like a man who can be treated like one. That means risk. That means responsibility. That means the courage to let the world measure you and to let the numbers stand. You don't have to explain who you are. You have to demonstrate it. Right now, choose the first steak, not tomorrow morning, not after another video. Right now, grab your phone. Text the commitment with the deadline and the cost. Set the timer. Put the money on the line. Tell the person who will enforce it. Then close your mouth and build. The clock is running either way. You decide whether it measures your excuses or your output. No one is coming to lift this for you. And that's good news, because once you decide to lift it yourself, no one can stop you. Put your name on the next brick. Stack it in public. If it falls, pick it up. If it holds, stack the next. Build a life people can touch. Build a backbone your feelings can lean against without toppling the house. Build a record, build a reputation, and guard it with moves, not moods. This is how you escape the vulnerability trap. You stop using truth to ask for shelter. You start using truth to buy risk. You stop bleeding on the floor hoping someone will mop you up. You stand up, you bind the wound, you pick your target, and you march while it hurts. Not because you're numb, because you're accountable. Because you understand the simplest, hardest law. We respect what we can rely on. Become reliable. Then make your feelings fuel for what must be done. The next hour is the test, not the next year, not the next plan, the next hour. Put a stake in the ground that would make your past self uncomfortable and your future self grateful. Fear will scream. Let it. Move anyway. Prove to yourself that your word is not a costume. Prove to others that your truth isn't a trap for their time. Prove with consequence that you are a man worth leaning on. You don't need more advice, you need more risk. You don't need new language, you need new scars. You don't need permission, you need a deadline. Start now. Carry your weight, raise the bar when you speak, then shut up and earn it.